your breasts are jostling, and you rob my soul as a spade robs riverbank. In fact, Ram makes it even worse. You know whom is Ram describing Sita's breast to? His own brother Lakshman. Why would a husband want to advise his wife to set her mind on other men? Unless you're at the youth, you know?
Because they were good men.
Was Ram a good husband based on what we read?
Yes.
Okay, goodbye. What do you think about people like Lakshman and also Hanuman and also Valmiki actually disrespecting Sita in Ramayana?
So
you know where I'm coming from, yeah?
Like they disrespected. I'm not too.
Okay, if you're not up to date, let me bring up
Lakshman and Hanuman
let me bring up the actual passage. So this is basically, you know, these, by the way, these are not husbands of Sita. So how dare they describe her body in a way which is sexual? That is my point.
Yeah, I don't know. These scriptures are later, they explain what they're saying, so you have to read the whole context, I think.
In any context, would you want your wife to be described
out of context,
in a sexual way? In any context, would you want someone other than yourself to describe your wife or anybody's wife to be, you know, described in a sexual way?
I have to read what the scripture is saying.
I'm asking you, would you, in any context, would you accept
You're
that?
assuming.
It's a question to you. I'm not assuming anything. It's a question. Look, I'm asking, in any context, would you want somebody's wife to be described in a sexual way if the husband and wife are married? I'm not talking about ex-wife or something like that.
You mean like her?
I'm talking about their.
You mean
in any context, would that be moral? I'm asking you. I'm not talking about Ram right now. I'm talking generally. In a general context.
Yeah, depends on
in
the
any
context.
Would you want
immoral,
anybody's wife to be described in a sexual way? That's a question. It's a very simple question. Come on.
If it's not,
I would say no. You know, I wouldn't hesitate.
If it's not,
I wouldn't make jalebis. I would say no.
I think there is lag.
That is crossing the boundary.
There is lag.
Now, if this is how Sita Ma, which you guys call, the Hindus call her Mother Sita, would you want Sita Ma to be described like this in any context?
Can you guys hear me? I think there's a lag or something. Can you guys hear me properly?
There's no lag.
No,
you can hear our question.
We can hear you clearly.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I heard your question.
Okay, so answer the question then, if you heard it.
So, yeah, I wouldn't want my wife to be described sexually by someone.
Why would you then? What do you think about Sita Ma being described like that by Lakshman? Sorry, by Ram in front of Lakshman, by Hanuman, and even by Valmiki from the point of view of Ravan. How can you disrespect Sita Ma like this?
No. So Raman is poetry, right? In poetry, author describes people and how they look, their feature, their physical feature, everything. So is it sex? I don't know.
You're saying it's acceptable in a poetry right now? Are you saying it's acceptable in the form of a poetry?
You can see like.
Then in form of a poetry,
you describe mentally and physically.
If somebody does that to your wife or sister, would you allow them doing this just because they're writing a poem on it? Would you allow like that? You would not, definitely not.
Unless you were a pervert.
If it's sexual intent, then no. If it's not sexual, that's what I'm saying. If it's sexual,
okay.
Then
so
no.
if it's not sexual,
just description.
Let me ask this.
Because I'm taking your words.
Okay, so let's bring the scripture up. How about that? Would you then accept it or reject it?
Exactly.
You know on Dawahwise, whenever we make a claim, we always back it up with evidence. And you have seen this from our history. We don't just make claims.
I don't agree with that.
If you can show me a single piece,
that's not
if you can show me a single piece in which we made just a claim without evidence, then bring it forth.
If I can show you, then what?
Then I will admit that you're right and I'm wrong. But if you cannot, then you'll have to admit in public that you're wrong. By the way, I have no qualms in saying I'm wrong.
I can show you.
As a human being, I can make mistake. But what I'm saying is that we generally, and most of the time, especially when you're talking about religion and about where gods are involved, we make sure we back it up with evidence.
I'm not saying you
But
do
the
it on
reason
purpose.
I asked you this general question,
purpose.
not even relevant to Ram or Sita, generally, even in a poetry, would you accept your wife being described in a
Not
sexual
sexually.
way?
I wouldn't like. No,
Exactly, you wouldn't. If you
not
had any
sexually.
maryada in you, if you had any, manhood in you, then you wouldn't want your wife to be described in that way. And particularly Sita Ma, who's
we are
supposed to be
focusing on
a mother
sexual.
amongst the Hindus, they call her a mother. That's why they say Sita Ma as a mark of respect. How can you want anybody's mother to be described in this way? No way. So let me bring up the Ramayana. Okay, so this is I'll tell you what this is. So this is chapter Aranya Kanda, which is the third chapter, isn't it? Third book, chapter 46, verse number 21 and 22. Okay, here it is. It says here, "O allurer, your smile is alluring, teeth are alluring, and your eyes allure. O beauty, your waist is palmful, your hair velvety, your breasts are jostling, and you rob my soul as a spade robs riverbank." Yeah?
Who's saying
Would
that?
anybody want their wife to be described like that? Here's the reference, by the way.
Who's saying that?
Book number 3, chapter number 46, verse number 21 and 22. This is Valmiki
I have to read.
speaking, obviously, from the perspective of Ravan.
From perspective of Ravan. Ravan was a evil person, not evil, but a bad person, right? It was Asur.
Yeah.
So if you know about Asur, how Asur used to conduct themselves, Asur used to think like that. So the Ravan was cursed because the law of Asur was to rape and do that stuff. So it's from perspective of Asur who thinks like that.
Okay.
So
What about the perspective of Ram? Would Ram want to describe her like this?
I don't think so. Ram will
What if he did?
Describe Sita
What if he did?
like this.
In fact, Ram makes it even worse. You know whom is Ram describing Sita's breast to? His own brother Lakshman.
What?
So if Ravan is bad and a demon, Raman is even worse. You're laughing, but this is your Sita Ma, man. I wouldn't. Wallahi, if this was in any book.
Can you show me that?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Show me
Have you got the Ramayana on you?
I haven't read this bit, honestly.
Yeah. Have you got Ramayana on you?
Texts are too much. No, not yet. I can Google it if you want.
Yeah. So it's I can bring it up on the screen. Don't worry. I'll save you from Googling.
Okay, cool.
That's the reason why the question is, what exactly is the good that we are celebrating? When you celebrate Dashera, what is the good that is getting triumphed and victorious over what? Are these aspects of good? Are these the aspects of goodness that you want to celebrate?
Defeat of Ravan. He was bad, isn't it?
And he got moksha.
Was Ravan good?
He got moksha.
Yeah.
That's the point of course.
Yeah, bad.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's the point of this life, to get moksha. But that's why we don't believe in
so you can be as evil as you are. You can be as evil as you can be, and then get moksha.
Okay. Let me bring up the evidence for what Ram is describing about Sita's breast in front of his brother Lakshman. Are you ready, Dil?
Also, brother, please see the.
Dil pe badlena, okay?
Brother, please see the.
You know Hindi?
Yes, of course I do.
Brother, please see the please see the private
here it
chat
is.
also.
This is in.
Sorry, see what? Sorry, you guys are.
No, I was telling Brother Hashim to see the private chat. Brother Hashim to see the private chat.
Oh, I see. Okay. Just one sec. Oh, okay. I wonder where you went. Okay, Sambai, welcome back. Okay, so can you read it? I've highlighted for you. Then read it aloud so we can hear you.
Those two, I'm on a phone, so yeah, a bit small.
Okay,
But
let me read
those
it for you.
two, I can read it. Those two
Okay.
rounded persons of my lady love, which always deserve the application of pleasantly looking red sandalwood paste, might definitely be unshiny, and they might be, I don't know
Don't
what
laugh.
the
This
word
is your
means,
mother, Sita Ma. Remember.
with muddy blood, and they are extricated from her body for devouring. I don't know if this is like true or not, but that's kind of creepy.
What are you going to do about Ramayana? Are you going to throw away the whole story? Because
You
this is
can read
how,
the Sanskrit, Dil. If you have any qualms, you can read the Sanskrit if you
I
know
think
the
most of the
Sanskrit.
Hindus don't know Sanskrit, so that's a pointless thing to do with most Hindus.
You can
They don't
go
know
through the
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit to know the authenticity of that.
I mean,
Even the
yeah,
same
if
verse
it's
has been used by Hanuman to Sita Mata.
Exactly, yeah. So Hanuman
same
describes
verse is
it.
the Hanuman. Can I see
Ram
that?
describes it in front of Lakshman. I
You
mean,
can note
poor
down.
Sita, I feel
You
sorry
know
for
what?
her, you know.
You know what, Dil? You can note down the reference number so that you can
Sure,
later
yeah.
even
Yeah,
double
good
cross
Yeah,
idea.
check
take a
it.
screenshot. No problem.
Yes, double
It's
check it to know that this is not
36383.
being made up. It's there from the authentic text.
And he goes on, you know, he describes her lips and her hips and everything, you know. So this is how, unfortunately, I blame
didn't
Valmiki
notice
because
the
he's the guy who
reference,
wrote all
but
this.
anyways.
You know?
Oh,
I don't know if Ram actually thought like that, but anyway, the question still remains. It's in your book. It's in Ramayana. Okay, and
that
most
was
of the
Valmiki Ramayana?
the only excuse they have, I don't know if
Yes.
Sam can shed some light on this. Sam, they normally give the excuse, oh, it's a mistranslation.
No, not at all, not at all.
I mean, it
This
could
cannot
be.
a
I don't know.
mistranslation, and there are many other verses as well. The same things has been repeated by Ram when he was searching for Sita Mata and asking for the trees, and he was questioning the trees that where have you seen my wife, like the way your fruits are rounded, my wife's breasts are also same like your fruits. Have you ever seen her going somewhere?
Could you
In which direction?
Could you give me references? So
Bro, what's the point of reference? If we gave you reference and you laughed like a besharam,
Just a minute.
you know, it's no laughing matter. This is
okay.
about Sita Ma.
Listen.
This is your mother.
Okay. Listen. Okay. Listen.
Don't laugh.
Listen.
This is not a laughing matter.
Oh, okay. Listen. So I'm just asking because I need to read in context because you don't.
Here is
you
the
didn't
here
read
is
in
the
In any
context with
context,
me,
bro,
right?
listen. I know you like context. I like context too. But I'm asking, in any context, would anyone disrespect their wife like this? Or their mother?
I want to see, like, for example, the first one was from Ravan's perspective. I
No,
didn't know that, right?
Even then, Ramayana, who's writing
first
Ramayana?
one.
Who's writing Ramayana? It is Valmiki, right? So blame Valmiki for this.
Author always does justice
I
to
don't
the
think
character.
Valmiki
If
was
the
an
character
eyewitness
is
to
like
what
the,
Ravan did. He was not an
Brother,
eyewitness to what Ravan did to Sita.
Brother, that you asked
He's
Valmiki
writing
wrote
from his own perspective.
So what? He wrote that. He described the character of Ravan. Where do you get the information about Ravan? From Valmiki. So if he described the character as that, then he's doing justice by showing how he was. So that's why context is important.
What is the justice, Dil? Can you hear yourself?
When Ram did it, then what?
What is
How
the
will you
justice
describe
in all of this?
Brother, let me read two verses for you.
that Ravan was an asur and his thoughts was like that. That's the justice to Ravan's character.
Okay, I can
What part of
understand
it is,
Ravan
like,
was
difficult?
evil, but what about Ram?
Exactly.
What about Ram?
Yeah, that's why I need
But
to
he
see
had
the
a
context.
Purushottam. What happened to him?
I will read it and verify it.
Okay, let me read the verse and you can verify later.
Yeah.
Valmiki Ramayana, book number 3, chapter number 60, verse number 13 and 18.
You can note down, Dil. Note down the reference.
I was trying to note, but
yeah, the 13 verse says, if Sita whose breast resembles a bilba fruit in shape, O Bilba was seen by you, please tell me that whereabout of
yeah,
the
I read that.
lady
I
who
just
is
need to
tender and
verify
soft
what.
shoots at the clade in the yellow silk. It's talking about the breast. And the 18th verse says,
Cool.
Oh, Ram is inquiring the fruits, the tree, Bilba tree. Let me read once again. If Sita whose breast resembles the Bilba fruit.
Sorry, Sam, just one sec. What is the reference once again?
Book number 3, chapter number 60. 60,
yeah.
Verse number 13.
Chapter 60.
1-3, yeah?
Yeah, 1-3. Or you can look for like 13 or 14 maybe.
Okay.
There may be a different numbering in the editions.
Yeah, I got it. So who is speaking here?
Ram is speaking.
Again, Ram.
Yeah. Ram is talking to trees and inquiring about his wife.
Okay, here it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it again, Dil? But without laughing, yeah, without mocking. Don't forget, this is Sitama.
Hey, if something is creep, I'll say it's creep. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so read it, gone.
So you wouldn't have any ex-Hindu if people would be like that, like, completely bounded by their religion.
Yeah. Please
read what's on the screen. Read what's on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, Bilwa tree, I do send someone who is dressed in yellow ochre silks, whose silk likens to the silkiness of your leaves, thine leaves, breasts to thine round
and silky.
Round and silky, palva fruits, do tell me otherwise, though Arjuna tree, if you know her who is a lover of your
brother Hashim, you can scroll down to 18th verse as well.
Okay.
18.
Number 18. Tender-waisted daughter.
Okay, here you
go. O palm tree, if you seize the lady, breasted alike ripened palm fruits of thine, and if thine mercy is mine, thou telleth of the shapely lady Sita. Okay. Yeah, I'll look at this.
Breasted alike ripened palm fruit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so this is Maryada Purushottam speaking about his wife. Do you still think it's Purushottam?
I don't think so. That's Maryada, honestly.
Okay.
So I don't think so. That's how Ram would actually speak.
Well, this is in Ramayana. So go and tell Valmiki. Like I said, go, blame him for that.
Well, definitely.
Don't shoot the messengers.
Honestly, messengers. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean, but yeah, I agree. If that's creep, I will verify it.
And sadly, brother, the same verse has been used by Hanumanji as well.
Okay, I'll make a note, and all I can say is I'll verify it because that's.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. That's creep. That's not Maryada.
You don't agree with Ramayana? Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay. By the way, Dil, is there anything else that you want to deal with?
No, I had questions when you were speaking. You were a lot of logical fallacies in your arguments and sister arguments as well. I mean, there were lot of logical fallacies in the arguments.
Okay, why don't you bring up next Q&A? We can deal with it, no problem.
Yeah, the offering where Ram offered Sita. That was not offer. That's not how we offer. If we say something.
Of course, it was offer.
Advice.
What do you mean?
That's advice.
Set your mind. If I tell someone, set your mind on this task. Yes. Here, Ram is saying, set your mind on Lakshman or
that
on
the offering. What to whom?
Herself.
That's called advice. Set your mind to this and this guy.
Why would a husband want to advise his wife to set her mind on other men? Unless you are the youth,
Because they were good men.
They were good. Dil,
good men
would you
for marriage.
Advise your wife? Dil, would
I
you
don't think
advise
this guy knows
your
his
wife?
Ramayana at all.
Would you advise your wife to select among the other men standing there?
No. He said, I have nothing to do with you anymore now. You can
exactly,
go.
which means he has nothing to do with her as his wife anymore. So set your mind on other man for marriage.
Yeah, he said you can go and find someone else. That's what
exactly for marriage. What else?
That's not offering. Yes, that's not offering her to men.
Why would he list the names of them if he's not offering?
So just listing the name means you're offering. If I say to you,
would you want? Wait. Why would you want to list the name of other men to your wife?
So just listing the name means you're offering it to her.
Answer the question.
Her to them men.
Why would you want to mention the name of other men?
Your fallacy
to your wife?
Is saying no. Your logical fallacy is in.
You're not even answering the question. Answer the question. Why is he mentioning the name of other men, demons, and monkey kings? Why?
He said the name is Monkey King according to Islam, but according to Hindu, he was Hanuman. Okay.
No, no, it wasn't
he
Hanuman.
said the
It
name
was
of
Sugriva.
people who were good.
It wasn't Hanuman. It was Sugriva. You don't even know your Ramayan.
Sugriva was also king. He was also the king and nice person.
Yes, and in the translation done by Hindus, it says monkey very clearly.
Yeah, it was Sugriva. He was the king, and he was also a nice person. He was dharmic person.
So
as
is
well.
it okay to say to your wife that these are all nice person? Can you hear what you're saying to yourself? You're saying that these are all nice people. These are all nice people, and you can go to any of them. Would you say like that to your wife?
I think this guy is still a bachelor. He doesn't understand marriage.
There were no marriage. When
is that true, Dil? Are you a bachelor? Are you married?
He said I had not. He also said I had nothing.
Are you married?
No, see, sister.
Are you married or not? Answer the question.
He's a teenager.
At home. No, that's you're diverting it.
Just answer the question. It's not diverting. Are you married or not?
Relevant?
It is relevant because you don't understand marriage.
That's not the point here.
It is the point here.
Is what Ram said.
Ram is married to his wife, and he's saying, "Set your mind on other men."
I abandon you.
A marriage.
I have nothing to do with you. That's what he said.
Did he divorce her?
Yes, if it has nothing to do with you, that's divorce.
Can Hindus divorce their wives?
Of course.
Why? What is the reason for divorce here?
Because that's Ram's choice. He doesn't want to have anything with her because of.
You can't just say I divorce you for no reason. What was the reason for divorcing Sita?
Because of the people.
So he listens to the people, and then he just says, "Okay,
he was a king as well.
Nothing to do with you." What kind of a husband is this?
What type of king does it?
Brother Hashim, somebody who can laugh while reading those kind of phrases. I don't see much logic coming from Dil.
Yeah, absolutely.
It never comes out.
Yeah, Dil, now I'm sure you're a bachelor, and you have no value of marriage or anything.
What kind of king doesn't listen to people? What's your question? Ask
what kind of a husband wants to divorce his wife without evidence?
He was a king as well. That's the choice.
Where is the evidence that his wife was unfaithful to him? Which was a charge made by the people, his subjects.
Yes.
So where is the evidence for that?
He had to listen to his subject.
Where is the evidence for charging her of
Hashim, what is justice in there? He is an unjust
as a king who is supposed to be just. He has no evidence for divorcing his wife.
Innocent. They were wrong.
He'll never, Brother Hashim, he'll never agree to it. At least previous guest he was still reasonable enough to be able to understand. Dil, I have seen it so many times. He would just argue for the sake of arguing, and he'll never come to terms with it. So there's no point. Somebody who can laugh.
Dil, before you go, let me ask you this question.
It's okay.
Let me ask you this question. Was Ram a good husband?
You don't let me answer.
No, just answer this question. Was Ram a good husband based on what we read?
Yes.
Okay, goodbye.
Yes.
How can a husband describe the breast of his wife to his brother? I mean, seriously, what kind of this guy is definitely a bachelor. He has no value of wives or marriage or anything.
No, bachelor or not, even if somebody has to get married, they still have some sense of understanding and reasoning within them. I have always seen this person, he just argues for the sake of arguing like that.
I think you're absolutely right.